The Knicks are making moves. According to an NBA insider, he helped confirm that the Knicks have made a major roster decision, and that involves Matt Ryan. We're going to break down all of these latest reports and so much more today. But before we get started, guys, about 56% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. We are so close to the goal of reaching 20,000 subscribers, and we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, please consider hitting that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. And now, let's get started. The Knicks are making a huge roster decision. A number of reports have already come out confirming that Achiuwa is likely going to return for the Knicks sometime next week. With regards to Mitchell Robinson, he is still on course to return for New York sometime in January. But that's not the only returning player. According to an NBA insider, the Knicks are currently preparing for another player to return. And because of that, they're going to make a roster move that involves Matt Ryan. Let's break down these latest reports that we have from NBA insider Michael Scotto. Shout out to Knicks Muse on the app X for giving us the following information. According to Michael Scotto, Landry Shamet is expected to be re-signed by the Knicks when he's healthy, with the hope that the stretch forward Matt Ryan will then clear waivers and re-sign on a two-way contract with New York. Shout out to Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype for giving us the following update about Shamet and what the Knicks plan to do with the roster once he returns. Honestly, this doesn't surprise me at all. You can go back to a video I dropped about Shamet and his future in New York a couple of weeks ago. I said this exact same thing was going to happen because the Knicks really covet Shamet. Before the season began, even in preseason, Landry Shamet did not have a contract with New York at that time, but they were speaking about him as if he did have a contract, as if he was going to have a major impact off the bench. And during preseason, you could already see the chemistry with Campaign, with Deuce McBride, with Mikal Bridges, with all of those players. Even Mikal, when he was asked about Shamet, said he's a professional. He's always in the gym, always working out, always working with the bench because that's his goal. Just because he got injured, that doesn't mean the Knicks have given up on them. That's just the opposite. Remember, they drafted him in the G League draft that they have. And the main reason that they did that, they could oversee his rehab and see how he's doing and when he can return for New York. That way, no other team could scoop him up and they can make sure when he's ready to return, he has a place to return to. And that place is the Knicks bench. And the only way to do that is to waive Matt Ryan. All due respect to Matt Ryan, he's a professional, a native New Yorker. That three-point shot when he's open is near automatic. The only problem is he doesn't see any time on the floor with that bench unit, unless it's garbage time. And really, we don't need that type of three-point shooting in garbage time. We need it when the game is on the line. Even though Landry Shamet doesn't shoot the three ball as efficiently or as well as Matt Ryan does, he plays better defense than Matt Ryan does. He has better chemistry with the bench unit, and Tom Thibodeau trusts him. And I think late in game, you will see Landry Shamet playing off the bench. I can't say the same for Matt Ryan. That's why I have no problem with the Knicks waiving him, signing Landry Shamet to a standard NBA contract, putting him on this roster, and then re-signing Matt Ryan on a two-way contract. That way, if they need to put him back on the roster, they have him on a two-way, and if they don't need him, they can keep him in Westchester, let him develop, hopefully have him play better defense, and if all of that happens, maybe he can become somebody that we can look to off the bench in the future. But as of right now, that spot is reserved for Landry Shamet. All Matt Ryan is doing at this point in time is playing the part of bench warmer because he's keeping that seat warm, waiting for Landry Shamet to return. Achiuwa, he's going to come back very soon as well. December 9th, I believe, is the date he's expected to return. Ironically, that's the day we're going to be playing his former team in the Toronto Raptors. We also have some other updates on the Knicks and the moves that they're making right now. Shout out to CBS Sports for giving us the following information. According to them, the New York Knicks sent Kolek to the G League, but then on Monday, they quickly recalled him back. Westchester didn't have a game Monday, so Tyler Kolek, Precious Achiuwa, and Ariel Hukporti joined the G League squad for practice and then were recalled afterward. With Miles McBride and Campaign healthy again, Kolek's path to playing time at the NBA level is absolutely crowded. Let's start with the positive part of this update first. The fact that Achiuwa went to the G League, he is practicing there, working with that team, working out with that team, scrimmaging with that team. That definitely means he's on course to return by December 9th. I can't wait for Achiuwa to come back because our defense, it looks like it's getting better game to game. Once Achiuwa comes back, I feel like our defense will take another step forward. It's going to become even more elite once Achiuwa comes back to the lineup because he can actually play right alongside Karl-Anthony Towns. He will give you the lineup that I have been asking for weeks now. That double big lineup. More than Jericho Sims could do and even more than Mitchell Robinson can do for one main reason. He can switch better than any one of those guys on defense. He can move without the ball very well, and I think the two-man game between Towns and Achiuwa could be very, very good to watch because they both can move, they both can go on offense and drive inside, they can take contact, go to the line, and they can make free throws. That's what you get when you have them both out there. Jericho Sims can't really make the free throws. Mitchell Robinson can't really do that either. And a lot of times, those guys, they're stuck inside the paint. They're not moving everywhere on the court. Achiuwa, he can move anywhere. And even though he's not a great three-point shooter, he can shoot the three ball well enough that he becomes a threat. A defender has to go out there and defend against him. That means we have more room inside the paint for everybody to operate in, including Achiuwa himself. He can fake and drive just like Karl-Anthony Towns does. And if you see each and every game, when Towns fakes the three and he drives, he's almost always successful. Achiuwa, he can do the same thing. He has a very quick first step. And if he gets in front of you, he is gone. I can't wait to see what Tom Thibodeau is going to do with this lineup once we get Shamet back, once we get Achiuwa back, once we get Mitchell Robinson back. I think you saw some of the changes already. Tyler Kolek, Ariel Hukporti, Pacome Dadier, the rookies that we saw playing during the game, they're going to be relegated to the G League. There's no problem with that for me. If they're not going to be able to play any meaningful minutes with the Knicks, send them to Westchester, let them get some reps there, some practice time there, and let them develop. Let them get better. And maybe next year, we'll see what they can do off the bench at that point in time. But now, we got to start making room for some players coming back. When Shamet comes back, when Achiuwa comes back, we're not going to be able to play Sims that many minutes. We're not going to be able to play Pacome or Tyler Kolek that many minutes. Those minutes are going to go to Shamet. And even in that case, it's going to be interesting to see what Tom Thibodeau does because now that he's going to have more players that he trusts, will he now expand the rotation to 9 players consistently, maybe 10 players consistently, or will he still keep it to 9? That's going to be the big question, and only Tom Thibodeau has the answer. But at this point, we already understand that in practice, Thibodeau is working on a double big lineup with Jericho Sims and Karl-Anthony Towns. You got to assume he's going to do the same thing with Achiuwa and the same thing with Mitchell Robinson when they return as well, too. But the Knicks are getting healthier. We are getting better. We're getting more dangerous in the right way because offensively, we're so good there. We can do whatever we want to do on that side of the ball. Defensively, though, we still need work. But the best thing about the players coming back in Shamet, in Achiuwa, and in Robinson, they're all very good defensive players. And when they return, they're going to have a major impact on that side of the ball. This month is looking like our easiest schedule to date. Now the Knicks have to take advantage of it. String together some wins, go on a win streak, and let everybody in the NBA know we're legit. Not only in the Eastern Conference, but in the entire NBA. And if you don't watch out for the Knicks, we can run through you and go all the way to the NBA Finals. And that's been our goal since the season started. But what about you guys? What do you think about these following reports indicating that the Knicks are going to be making a major roster decision very soon? And that decision is likely going to be the Knicks waiving Matt Ryan and re-signing Landry Shamet. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.